Good evening, listeners, and welcome back to our World Affairs Update. Tonight, I'm taking you straight to the hot zone of the Middle East, where the ongoing standoff between the United States and Iran continues to send ripples through global markets, especially the oil market. The headline? Oil prices surged again on Wednesday, as the tension in the Persian Gulf deepens and new threats of a Red Sea blockade loom. Let's unpack what's happening. In the last 24 hours, the price of Brent crude, the global benchmark, climbed 3.3% to $94.07 per barrel. That's a jump of about $10 in a single week. West Texas Intermediate, the North American Standard, nudged up 2.3% to $86.83. Overall, since the escalation of hostilities began, oil prices are up roughly 30%. Why this spike? Several things are pulling the pie in that direction. First, the U.S. Secretary of State, Marco Rubio, confirmed that American forces will keep striking Iranian targets if Tehran continues to attempt controlling shipping lanes. A day before that, President Trump and Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth intensified their rhetoric, even hinting at targeting the Houthis, the Iran-aligned militant group in Yemen. Trump's own social media post last Wednesday warned that if the Iranian regime attacks any vessel in the Strait of Hormuz, the U.S. will attack a bridge or power plant anyone's name, even those near Tehran. Now, the Strait of Hormuz is critical because it is the narrow waterway between Iran and Oman. It's the lifeline for about a quarter of the world's oil shipping. The latest data from maritime tracking firm PLR showed that only 9 ships passed through the strait on Tuesday before the fighting intensified. That's an alarming contraction in traffic, a direct visual cue that the threat level is high. Meanwhile, the Houthi rebels are amplifying the blockade threat by declaring a no-go zone around Saudi ports. After they issued that announcement, many oil tankers that would normally head into the Bab al-Mandab Strait at the southern end of the Red Sea instead turned north toward the Suez Canal. That shift could strain the already tight logistics flow, inconsistent with a heightened risk of interdiction. There are also supply-side pressures to keep an eye on. Global oil stockpiles are tighter than they were when U.S. and Israeli strikes on Iran began in late February, meaning there's less reserve cushion. Russian refineries, already hit by Ukrainian attacks, are producing fewer transportation fuels, including diesel. Together, these factors tighten the of transportation fuels and drive commitment upward. Beyond the immediate conflict, analysts are watching how much oil China is buying. China is a major purchaser of global oil, and any shift in their demand could influence margins and eventual price stabilization or shock. The key point is the uncertainty factor. Once shipping routes are uncertain, the market priced that into futures contracts. So to sum up, the conflict is intensifying at a time when the energy world is already fragile. On one front, Iranian attacks on shipping have slimmed theatrical as only 9 vessels went through the Strait of Hormuz on just 2 days ago. On another, blockades in the Red Sea are threatening to disrupt an alternative shipping route. All told, oil prices have risen to $94 per barrel, reflecting a 30% increase over the crisis's start. U.S. policy is very aggressive. Trump's threats clearly signify a willingness to take decisive action. Goods transportation flows are under pressure from reduced stocks and damaged refineries. That's all for tonight's briefing. Stay tuned for more updates as the situation develops. In this space, we keep breaking down how geopolitics shape the markets that power our everyday lives. Until next time, keep informed and keep questioning the headlines. Thank you for listening.